what does time management really mean to you, right? There's a bunch of different things that really kind of roll into the umbrella of time management. It could be, organization, communication, things of that nature. So again, would love to hear from each of you, how would you kind of define time management and what do you find to be the most important piece of it?
I think organization is the first thing that comes to mind, but I think the most important thing for me is structuring my day. And kind of like knowing, are you a morning person? Are you an afternoon person? When are you most efficient? I'm definitely more efficient in the morning. So trying to schedule my tasks heavy in the morning, maybe calls in the afternoon, to make sure I'm using the most of my time.
Planning and organizing definitely comes to mind, and just being as productive as possible.
Do you guys have any kind of like rituals or like things that you do to kind of start your day off on the right foot to make sure that you stay organized and you stay on pace or on track to kind of hit all of those tasks that you have at hand throughout any given day?
I have an actual physical reminder on my calendar every single morning to check my emails and plan my day. And then at the end of the day, I have a reminder to plan tomorrow. Very, very basic. It's nothing crazy, literally just a recurring thing. I get a 5-minute reminder before that pops up. And if I have anything, and I'll probably touch on this at some point, but I have like a running task list that I use all the time. And if I have anything on my task list that I have not put on my calendar yet for when I want to get to it, that's when I do it. And I just plan the next day. Or if I come in the morning and I have things that I know I need to get done, put them on my calendar. But it's all about just putting stuff on your calendar and following through with what you have planned.
I think our role here at Demand Drive as an SDR is kind of interesting because we have like the tasks that we have to get done, right? Like our calling, our emailing, our overall outreach. But then there's other work that we are doing behind the scenes, right? We're also researching, we're writing new email templates, we're maybe meeting with teams or with our client, right? There's other things that are going on. So curious to hear from you all, how much time do you typically allocate towards those different parts of the role? I know it's going to be different depending upon which program you are on and maybe how involved you are with your client, but how do you kind of balance that? And do you have any kind of structure or parameters that you follow to kind of keep you on track to make sure you're still hitting your numbers if you have like other things that are happening throughout your day?
I like to prioritize my calls just because most of my leads have come through calls. So, if I have a day where most of my meetings are going to be in the morning, I'll prioritize just calling in the afternoon. So my research and emailing I'll do in the morning, and then vice versa. If I have a lot of meetings in the afternoon, I'll make sure I'll get through my calls, or at least most of them, in the morning.
Big things are definitely hitting new accounts every day. You want to make sure you're hitting maybe new ones or ones that you haven't touched in a long time on top of things that are already in your cadence. So I think kind of balancing that with also the research. My project is very research heavy in the clinical trial world. You kind of have to understand like what phase a trial is at, what indication, where does that suit us? And the decision maker can vary based on the company's size. So it's definitely research heavy. I do spend a good portion of my day doing research and like personalizing templates. But it's definitely a balance between the two.
How have you guys kind of set boundaries when it comes to working from home? I'm sure everybody has had that time, even when you're in the office, where you work late one day because you're just like really into something. And I think it can be easier for those types of things to happen when you work at home. You forget what time it is and you realize like, oh God, I'm still working. And so I know all of you kind of talked about like taking breaks throughout your day, and that really helps with like making sure that you're staying focused and structuring your day. What are some other boundaries that you've set, or like things that you've done that can kind of help make sure that you're compartmentalizing like home and work?
I think that once you log off, stay logged off. And if you log off and you forget to send an email, write it down on a sticky note, write it down on your agenda, and do it first thing in the morning. But just stay logged off. Set a reasonable goal for yourself in the beginning of the day or in the beginning of the week, and just try to get through those. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just staying logged off once you're off.
For me, I really like to take walks, like go on a 20-minute walk, listen to music, listen to a podcast. I think that really helps me. I come back feeling really refreshed. And I think the days where I'm like, I have too much to do, I can't like go get outside today, whatever, I feel like I just get really drained by the end of the day. I'm like more stressed than I would have been and less productive. So I think that really helps me.